Speaking of sex and full function, let's talk about the Me Too campaign and how, it's instigated major changes in how women view themselves, their sexuality, and their relationships. Couples therapist Micki Lavin Pell is here with more on how the Me Too can destroy even the best of relationships. And, of course, our weekly sex therapist, Shelly Varod, weighing in as well. Hello, welcome. I love this that we have like a twofer. We have a twofer. Okay, so first of all, let's start with you because you wrote a blog on this. So this is a very interesting kind of take that is, it's not being talked about yet, but it is an interesting kind of fallout to the Me Too campaign. Right. So explain.
So basically, a lot of men have been coming to me since the Me Too campaign and even before, saying that they really struggle to know how to connect with women, how to get women interested in a way where they'll feel respected, where they'll feel excited to be with them, but in a way that won't be like too...
Like they don't know what to they don't know
what to do.
Right.
They just don't know what to do.
So like simple flirting or asking it, like are men just terrified of like just seeing a pretty girl and like to take on a date and she's gonna be like, that's sexual harassment.
Look, the sleazy guys are fine because they're still being sleazes, but the really nice, decent guys, they feel like they have to take a further step back from being upfront and personal with women.
Right.
So they don't really know what to do. So basically, I say to them, you just have to really continue to really try to get to know the woman from that emotional place.
Right.
And really see her for who she is, and keep the eyes constantly above the neck.
But how's it also affected women and their being able to receive that kind of attention?
That's an excellent point. A lot of women are very standoffish now because they're very more aware than they've ever been before. Obviously, the women who have been affected by sexual advances have always had like more trouble
with deal with they have to deal
letting
with the
men
trauma,
in. Right. So they have to deal with the trauma, and they need to really be able to differentiate between when they've been traumatized and whether they've gotten rid of it, whether they've worked through that stuff, versus throwing it all on the men and saying, well, it's men that don't know how to treat women well. So it's really
and how does this explain when when taking relationships like to the sexual level, both existing relationships, how has the Me Too trickled down, versus couples getting to know each other and actually taking it to that next
Well, if we'll take it to people who get to know people, I hear about it a lot. I see a lot of men are scared, even here at the studio when they want to put my mic, when they used to now they're so weird. They're like everybody.
They want us to do it. When I worked in New York, it was like everybody knew everyone, and they're this, and here.
Much more delicate.
Good.
But I want to bring it into the place where Men's Health magazine asked women what do they care about when they see men. And what was interesting is that the most, I guess, the traits that they said were presenting more character, personality, and the last thing on the list was the attractiveness, physical. So
what are they? And this has just been more so in recent months.
Yes,
you think?
This is more recent that Men's Health. 1,000 women they interview them about what do they care about men, and this is where it's connecting to work with men who are scared because let's see what they put on the list. 84% rated faithfulness, but if I go to a place where you can meet people and dating, then they state kindness, which was like super important, moral integrity, father lines. So this is like
he could be the father of my children. Like they're looking at it that way.
But what does that mean? But it means that personality-wise, they're not looking for a man who's going to say. First of all, they're not saying that I want the all big, buff, muscly man. Nothing wrong with that. Yes, but it's not what they're looking for. They're looking for a man who will show them that he's kind. They even said passion towards stuff that are interesting, like have a hobby, art. So this is the thing that instead of sexualizing women in the sense that look at her, impress her with what you have. Look what they care about.
So it sounds like this is an opportunity kind of for, like a new normal in dating. Like, so, listen, I think we could argue, I very much agree, like, Me Too is great, but it's also, there's the downside because everybody's getting, not everybody is Harvey Weinstein,
Exactly.
And so what do you expect kind of for the future of how relationships, like, are people going to actually go for the right things in a partner rather than just sexual attraction?
Well, I think it's about building sexual attraction, not expecting to have sex straight away and not expecting...
Fireworks, immediate fireworks.
Not starting with the physical, and that's something I've always said. You've got to start out with the emotional. You've got to start out by really just unwrapping the relationship from like just the same way that you would with a same-sex person. I mean, assuming you're heterosexual. Just talking to them and just getting to know them, finding those things that you have in common, finding those common bonds, talking about things that are just really, really important to you that don't have any sexual connotation, and then slowly working your way in from that. obviously the sexual chemistry will build and you'll spring from that. But if you really show, like, you have a lot of eye contact, a lot of upper body stuff going on without any physical touching involved, and you start to feel safe there, then the relationship can grow, because women really need to feel safe.
Right.
In order to be able to
I
get into bed with you.
I think we're seeing more of that, but I mean, also, how does that also translate?
I view it a little bit
sexually?
differently.
Are women going to be a little bit more, not prude, but a little bit more cautious before they, you know?
Again, I don't mind if people want to start with the physical, as long as they feel safe.
Okay.
And this is, I think.
But women need to learn as to what makes them feel safe, because I think we women are like, okay, I don't feel safe. Is it me? Or like, okay, there's something about this guy. I used to do that, like when I was younger, like, okay, there's something about it on my trust. What's wrong with me? Am I not like sending the right signals? And like, but I realized my instincts were
But that can be also our insecurities. But we know when someone objectify us or when they view us in a very sexual way that do not feel pleasant.
Yes.
And we know when a man or when we, with the energy, with the men, feel safe. So as long as we feel safe and we don't feel, as she said, it's true, to start talking about things, get to know each other. It's not just about the physical. I definitely think physical is important and sexual attraction is important.
But not necessarily on the first date.
I do not care when they do it, as long as it comes from a place that feels secure.
Not
and
a
safe.
feeling like you have to do it to get. I mean, I think that's another thing. I mean, now that women are aware that these, you know, that these situations exist amongst other women, it's like now it has to, you know, what makes them put in a place where they want to put their sexuality first without, you know, feeling like they're victimizing themselves.
And again, be sober. I really think it's important. Have one glass of wine, no more, just to know that you would connect to what you feel, connect to the partner, and
so there you go. Have sex on the first date, but don't do it drunk. That's a take-home message.
Take-home message is really just know it feels right for yourself, but really be able to communicate very, very clearly, both men and women. If the more that you could communicate clearly and strongly.
And that's what we're most afraid of doing.
Yes.
Is actually communicating what we really feel.
I like you, rather than say, well, you know, beat around the bush and play all these games.
And then they're like, well, maybe she's not interested, maybe he's not interested.
No,
anyway, good stuff.
Say it straight up.
Look at this. How fast did this, however, 6 minutes go? I could continue another 5 minutes on this topic.